Subtract the following two rational expressions, where you have x over 2x minus 4 minus 4 minus x over x squared minus 2x. Now, generally, the way to combine two fractions is to make sure that they have the same denominator, right? Because if they have the same denominator, then you just combine the numerators and put it all over that common denominator. However, these two denominators aren't the same. But we need to get them to be the same, and we use the notion of the LCD, the lowest common denominator, or the lowest common multiple, to do this. So the first thing we should do is to write out the denominators in factored form. So the first denominator is 2x minus 4, and you can factor out a 2, right? So this becomes 2 times x minus 2. And then the second denominator is x squared minus 2x, and from that you can factor out an x, right? So if you factor out an x, what's left? X minus 2. And if you don't believe me, you can distribute the x and the 2 back into that difference to make sure that it equals what it should. So now that we have that, we can build the LCD from these factors. So the LCD is each of the factors non-repeated. So in this case, the LCD of 2 times x minus 2 and x times x minus 2 is going to be 2x x minus 2. Because remember, for the LCD, we want each of the different factors without necessarily repeating any. So now that we have that, we want the denominators to be the LCD. So let's rewrite this rational expression. So this becomes x over 2 times x minus 2 minus 4 minus x over x times x minus 2. Now, we want each of the denominators to basically be the LCD, right? So we have to fill in whatever's missing. So notice, in the first value, there's 2, we have 2 and x minus 2, but there's no x. So how to fix that? We multiply the denominator by x. But whatever we do to the denominator, remember, we also have to do to the numerator. So the first rational expression, we're going to multiply by x over x. Now for the second, the denominator has the x and the x minus 2, but not the 2. So we do the same thing. We multiply the top and bottom by whatever's missing, in a sense. So now that we have that, let's do these operations. So x times x is going to be x squared over 2x, x minus 2, minus 4 minus x times 2 over 2x, x minus 2. So now these two denominators are the same, right? 2x, x minus 2. So we can combine the numerators under that common denominator. So we get x squared minus 2 times 4 minus x over 2x, x minus 2. And now since now that we've combined them, we should simplify. So the first thing I want to do is distribute this negative 2 value into the difference. So the numerator becomes x squared minus 8 plus 2x over 2x, x minus 2. And rewriting it in the standard quadratic form, it's x squared plus 2x minus 8 over 2x, x minus 2. And now we should try to factor the numerator, right? That's generally what the impulse you should get every time you see a quadratic equation. You should try to factor it. So the numerator factors into what? X plus 4, x minus 2, right? Because 4 times 2 is negative 8, and 4 plus 2 is positive 2. And in the denominator, we still have 2x, x minus 2. And then the final step, notice that there's an x minus 2 in the numerator and the denominator that we can factor out. So our final result is x plus 4 over 2x. And since there's nothing else we can do to reduce, this is the final answer.